So this is the Skull of Stars for the Halloween Oracle, and it stands for Infinite Possibilities. I will also be doing the Spider card, which I debated just not doing because I don't even like touching it or looking at it. But I'm going to do it anyways, it'll probably be short and sweet. So this is another skull card and very simplistic in its imagery. It's an age-cracked skull with I don't know if it's supposed to be a halo or just the moon behind it because it is a night sky it looks like, and there's a few stars up in the corner, some clouds, so it might actually be the moon over a halo. And since it is the skull of stars and the night sky, that might make sense. Skull again represents death, but it's also the head, so it could represent like thinking and personality and things of that nature. The clouds could possibly, I think, represent temporary cover or just a temporary passage of things or something along those lines. I think of clouds as very temporary. And then the moon again cycles, but also lighting up the nights. It sort of makes me think of the ancient sacredness of just full moon energy, if that is a moon there. It kind of makes me want to connect more with more ancient raw energies. Also sort of the man in the moon type of idea here. It could be how far are you setting your sights and your goals, or achieving that higher level in your endeavors. How has the loss of something made room for something better in your life? So let's see what the book has to say. So it's the Skull of Stars, which stands for Infinite Possibilities, and the little poem is, "Why think so small when galaxies spin within? Realize that you are made of the stuff of stars and infinite possibilities begin." This skull brings us back to the fact that we are all made of the stuff of stars, and yet many of us think so small. We are each born with a blank canvas to paint upon, and we are indeed an open sky of possibilities. It is easy to feel small in the world that is so busy, impersonal, and seemingly self-absorbed. We can, at times, feel lost and unclear about our direction and lose sight of our place in the cosmos. The Skull of Stars reminds us that we are only limited by our own imaginations and boundaries. If we can dream it, it is possible. This card indicates that you need to think bigger and more broadly about your future and what you would like to achieve. Perhaps there are false beliefs, often old, that no longer serve you as you grow and change. Sometimes these beliefs may not even be yours. They may have been imparted to you by your parents or the wider community, yet feel rather incongruent to you. You need to endeavor with all of your heart and soul to live the life you want and honor your own wishes and truth. I like the idea that you might have false beliefs that no longer serve you, and it's time to change those. I like that idea. Definitely something I try to work on. So yeah, next card. So this is a Spider card, and it stands for Community and Web Weaving. So this is a card of a spider, and I don't like it at all. It's on a web, and it has a spiral on its back. First of all, spiders to me represent fear and anxiety and just negativity all around. I don't like them. I don't even like looking at this card. I don't even like touching this card. Surprisingly, this card did not turn me off the whole deck. Even though this deck has this card in it, I still love this deck. Same with the pink in some of the pictures. I will not buy things because they have pink in them, and I definitely will not buy things if they have spiders on about them. But this deck I couldn't pass up. I still think this deck is absolutely beautiful, despite the pink and despite this fucking card. But I do recognize that spiders also have some symbolism with the fates, and obviously they have the web there, and the web is, well, the web's a trap, but it's also talks about connectiveness and many different facets, like you can see it for networking. The spiral to me represents like life and learning. You typically have lessons in your life, and you learn them, and you think you learn them well, and you do learn them well. And then you move away from them, but then later on you come back to them and you learn an even deeper level of them. And you need to do that spiraling in and spiraling out to get a full picture of it. You can't just learn it all in one shot. It doesn't work that way. So that's sort of what the spiral to me means. And this card just freaking reminds me of all the times that I've had like horrible run-ins with these things. You would not believe how fast my fat ass can move when there's a spider around. I amaze even myself. I don't know how I don't know how I've fallen down backwards in a chair and all of a sudden I'm up on my feet and I don't know how the hell I did that. Or I'm at the door and I don't know how the hell I got there because I moved that quickly. Yeah, I do not like them. Okay, let's see what the book has to say. I'm done with this. And of course it's a long freaking thing to read. Of course this card has a long page to read. It's one of the longest ones in the book I've read so far. Yay! So it's a spider, which is community and web weaving. The little poem is, she spins her silk alone, in the dark with hope of collection, sticky with dreams, weaving the world's wide web of connection. I'm sorry, but in the dark with hopes of collection, sticky with dreams. Sticky with dreams. Nobody else finds this amusing. Sticky with dreams. Anyways, masses of sticky spider webs make any Halloween decorating complete. The idea of a haunted house covered in the artwork of big hairy spider is classic horror. Even those of us who appreciate our eight-legged friends still hurriedly brush off those stealthy webs of if we run into them in the dark. Although most spiders are not venomous, humans have an innate fear of them. Perhaps it is the fangs or the poison, perhaps it's all those legs and the way they move, perhaps it's where they live, often in dark hidden places, or the way our Western popular culture has demonized them by making them giant, fierce, and man-eating. No, I would say because, they can be anywhere. I've had it, so I've been on the computer at night, one's hanging down by my face and I freak out. They can climb up the side of the chair, they can be on the floor, they can be on the ceiling, they can be on the walls, they can be in your bed, they can be anywhere. And yeah, kind of the way they move, that's kind of gross. Nah. Some cultures, though, revere the spider in very positive ways. Many Native American traditions, for example, the spider creature that gives birth to all other animals and sustains the web of life. The goddess spider, grandmother, and there's also a spider woman, is a key deity that brings wisdom, safety, and communications to all the tribes. She created and wove all the stars in the sky and makes soft webs for those that are troubled to rest upon and be supported by. Spider webs can be seen as a symbol of connection, not necessarily entrapment. There is a fine line sometimes between a family or a community supporting us and controlling us. This card looks at this discernment. It also suggests you review the way you communicate with the wider community, at work or generally with others, and take steps to improve this or do it slightly differently. It also indicates that there needs to be a balance between what you do for yourself and what you do for others. If we give too much to the outside, our strengths diminish and we cannot weave the supporting web for ourselves. Okay, so this last little bit, I kind of like some of it here. Where it talks about that fine line between family or community supporting us and controlling us. That is something I definitely connect with. And finding that balance between what we do for ourselves and what we do for others. That if we give too much to the outside, our strength diminishes and we cannot weave the supporting web for ourselves. That I kind of sort of connect with too, despite the web imagery. So yeah. Anyways, let's put this card to bed.